what's on the far side of the moon? What if the biggest discovery in human history is being kept from you? In the 1970s, astronauts whispered about strange lights in a crashed alien ship. There were secret missions that claimed to have found evidence of extraterrestrial life. And then the leaked photos came out showing structures that were too perfect to be natural. Some even say they were warned to never come back. But the most important question is, why did we stop going to the moon for 50 years? Why are so many images blurred before we see them? And why do whistleblowers risk everything to reveal the truth? Ancient civilizations, alien bases, or secret military operations, the dark side of the moon may be hiding everything we were never meant to know. Are you ready to hear the story NASA doesn't want you to believe? Look up at the moon tonight. That pale, familiar face has watched over humanity for thousands of years, inspiring poets, guiding sailors, and marking the passage of time itself. But what if I told you that everything you think you know about our closest celestial neighbor is only half the story? What if the moon has been keeping a secret from USS Secret so profound that it could change everything we believe about our place in the universe? For over 4 billion years, one half of the moon has remained completely hidden from human eyes. When we finally glimpsed this mysterious far side in 1959, what we discovered challenged everything scientists thought they knew. Strange formations, unexplained signals, and anomalies that some believe point to something extraordinary. Tonight we're going to explore the evidence, examine the theories, and ask the questions that NASA would prefer you never heard. I've been fascinated by space ever since I was a kid. So when I heard about this mysterious lost footage, I couldn't help but wonder if it might contain something truly extraordinary. Is there something NASA doesn't want us to know about the far side of the moon? As I dove into this mystery, I discovered some pretty mind-blowing stuff. The far side of the moon has been a source of mystery and intrigue for centuries. With its perpetually hidden face shrouded in darkness, it's been the subject of countless conspiracy theories and speculations. For most of history, we knew next to nothing about it because it was impossible to get close enough to see it. But everything changed in 1959 when the Soviet Union's Lunar 3 spacecraft managed to take the first ever blurry pictures of the far side. What they found was a world turned upside down. It looked like nothing like the near side that we see every day. The revelation left scientists scratching their heads trying to make sense of the difference. Scientists eventually came up with a plausible explanation, suggesting that the far side had been bombarded with meteorites early in its history, which created a heavily cratered surface. But many people were not convinced. Some believed that the far side of the moon was hiding something extraordinary, something that the government didn't want them to know. As the space race heated up, the US and the Soviet Union raced to explore the moon. By the late 1960s, both nations had developed the capability to send astronauts into space and orbit the moon. But the race wasn't just about who could get there first. It was also about who could explore more, discover more, and ultimately control more. In 1968, NASA's Apollo 8 mission became the first manned spacecraft to orbit the moon. The crew of 3 astronauts spent Christmas Eve in orbit, giving them a unique vantage point to observe the moon like never before. When they emerged from the other side of the moon, they were supposed to have a press conference and share their observations. But when NASA officials listened to the transmission, they were in for a surprise. The astronauts described the far side of the moon in glowing terms, calling it a desolate and even eerie landscape. They also mentioned seeing something unexpected, a sight that they said defied explanation. Despite their cryptic comments, the astronauts seemed shaken by what they had seen. Using words like awesome and humbling to describe the experience, the official transcript released to the public carefully omitted these comments, leaving everyone to wonder what exactly they had seen. Apollo 10 followed in May 1969, and their mission was to test the spacecraft systems and photograph the landing sites for Apollo 11. But what should have been a routine mission took a strange turn when the astronauts spotted a large object orbiting the moon. At first they thought it was a satellite, but when they got closer they realized it was much larger and oddly shaped. They tried to communicate with it but got no response. The unsettling encounter left them with more questions than answers, and conspiracy theories began to swirl. Was it a secret military craft, an alien spaceship, or something else entirely? Then came Apollo 11 in July 1969. This was the mission that put the first humans on the moon. As Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin explored the lunar surface, millions of people back on Earth watched on television as they took their first tentative steps on the moon. But while the world was focused on this historic event, something else was happening. In the background, another astronaut, Michael Collins, was orbiting the moon in the command module. He had a clear view of the far side, and what he saw there left him speechless. According to Collins, the far side of the moon was not what he expected. It was as if he was looking through a window into another world. He described it as a strange and alien landscape that seemed to go against everything he had learned about the moon. Collins was troubled by what he saw, and he could unshake the feeling that they were being watched. So why is the far side of the moon so heavily censored by NASA? Are they hiding evidence of extraterrestrial activity? Is there a secret base on the far side of the moon? Unfortunately, we may never know the truth, but one thing is certain. The far side of the moon will continue to fascinate and intrigue humanity for generations to come. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. This is the secret history of the moon, strange structures and alien theories. We will explore the wild claims about alien structures on the far side of our celestial companion. Over the years, various space agencies have shared images of the moon's surface that have left people scratching their heads. Some say they reveal bizarre structures that defy explanation. What could these mysterious formations tell us about our place in the cosmos? Are they evidence of extraterrestrial activity or something else entirely? Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of alleged alien architecture on the moon. In the early 1960s, NASA's lunar orbiter missions aimed to capture detailed images of the moon's surface. Among the photographs taken was one that showed an odd rock formation dubbed the Tower, which appears to be over a mile high. Could this be an alien-made tower, or is there a more down-to-earth explanation? Another image known as the Castle shows a strange semi-transparent structure that seems to float above the surface. Is it a mirage, a camera lens flare, or something more sinister? Some believe these images are genuine evidence of alien activity, while others dismiss them as imaging artifacts caused by the cameras used. Former NASA contractor Donna Hare made headlines when she came forward claiming to have personally witnessed technicians airbrushing buildings out of moon photos. Her story raises questions about the level of secrecy surrounding the space program and what evidence of extraterrestrial life, if any, may have been deliberately obscured. But are these stories fact or fiction? While the images captured by the lunar orbiters are indeed fascinating, it's important to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. Many conspiracy theorists point to what they claim are suspicious omissions in official narratives, alleging that certain details are intentionally being left out of public discourse. They claim that certain aspects of the moon landings and subsequent space missions have been deliberately misrepresented to the public, potentially for reasons related to national security or to prevent mass panic. These theories often involve speculation about potential orchestrated by government agencies like NASA or other powerful organizations. Proponents of these theories argue that if these claims were true, it would have profound implications for our understanding of history and our place in the universe. It was until 1959 that humans first witnessed the far side of the moon, when the Soviet Union's Luna 3 spacecraft provided the first close-up images. This previously unseen area has captivated the imagination of scientists and the general public alike. For decades, the far side of the moon remained largely mysterious, shrouded in darkness and cut off from radio communications due to the moon's magnetic field. However, thanks to technological advancements and renewed interest in lunar exploration, we've been able to learn more about this enigmatic region in recent times. The far side of the moon offers a unique vantage point for observing deep space, and has become an attractive destination for astronomers seeking to study phenomena beyond our planet. One of the most significant features of the far side is the South Pole region, which contains vast deposits of water ice in permanently shadowed areas. These discoveries have fueled interest in establishing a permanent human presence on the moon, with plans for future missions already underway. As humanity continues to push the boundaries of space exploration, the far side of the moon is poised to reveal even more secrets and wonders in the years to come. Since then, several theories have emerged regarding the origins and nature of these peculiar structures. Some suggest that they are remnants of an ancient alien civilization that once inhabited the moon. Others propose that they are the result of natural geological processes that have been misinterpreted. There are also those who believe that these structures are nothing more than elaborate hoaxes created to deceive the public. Despite the lack of concrete evidence to support any of these theories, the mystery surrounding these structures continues to captivate the public imagination. Adding fuel to the fire, China's Chang'e 4 mission in 2019 marked the first time a spacecraft had landed on the far side of the moon. The mission's goal was to explore the far side's unique environment and search for organic matter in the soil. While the mission's findings were not conclusive, it did provide some interesting images that have sparked speculation. Among the images released by the Chinese Space Agency were several that showed strange, rectangular-shaped objects near the landing site. These objects appear to be at least partially buried in the lunar regolith and do not seem to be natural rock formations. Some believe that these structures are evidence of past alien activity on the moon, while others remain skeptical. It is important to note that the Chinese Space Agency has not released an official statement explaining the origin of these structures. This has led to further speculation and debate among conspiracy theorists. While it is possible that these objects are man-made, it is also possible that they are natural formations that have been Until more information is released, it is difficult to say for sure what these structures are, regardless of their origin. The images captured by Chang'e 4 are an intriguing addition to the growing body of lunar mysteries. The far side of the moon remains largely unexplored, and its history is still being written. Whether or not there are signs of alien activity there, the moon continues to be a source of fascination for people around the world. But why would aliens choose the far side of the moon as their base of operations? Well, there are a few theories. For one, the far side of the moon is completely hidden from view on Earth, making it the perfect place for aliens to establish a secret base without being detected. Additionally, the far side of the moon does not receive radio signals from Earth, making it a quiet place for advanced alien technology or interstellar communication. Finally, the far side of the moon is a region of space that is relatively close to Earth but remains largely unexplored, making it an ideal location for conducting research or carrying out other activities away from prying eyes. One of the most popular theories among alien enthusiasts is that the moon is actually a hollowed-out artificial structure. This theory suggests that the moon is not a natural satellite, but rather an advanced alien spacecraft that has crash-landed or been intentionally placed in orbit around Earth. Proponents of this theory believe that the moon is hiding advanced technology or even an entire civilization within its hollow interior. Some even speculate that the moon is a gateway to other planets or dimensions, allowing aliens to travel back and forth between worlds. While there is no concrete evidence to support the idea of a hollow moon, it continues to be a popular topic in science fiction and conspiracy circles. Another intriguing theory is that the moon is covered in a thin layer of soil that hides a vast alien city beneath the surface. This theory suggests that the moon's surface is deceptively barren, concealing a bustling metropolis filled with advanced technology and alien life. According to this theory, the city was either abandoned after a natural disaster or intentionally hidden to protect its inhabitants from humans. Some believe that this alien city could hold the key to understanding advanced technology or the origins of the universe itself. While this theory is highly speculative, it captures the imagination and fuels speculation about what might lie beneath the moon's surface. So what exactly is going on here? Is there any truth to these bizarre theories, or are they all just elaborate fabrications designed to mislead us? Well, the truth may be stranger than fiction. Some experts believe that the so-called structures are nothing more than natural formations that have been misinterpreted by human observers. They argue that the moon's surface is full of craters, ridges, and other features that can be mistaken for man-made objects. Others believe that these structures are actually remnants of ancient alien activity on the moon. They point to the fact that many of these formations appear to be geometric in shape and suggest that they could be the remnants of buildings or other structures that were once there. But who would have built them and why? Some believe that these structures were built by a long-lost civilization of aliens that once inhabited the moon. They argue that these aliens were highly advanced and had a deep understanding of geometry and engineering. Others believe that these structures are the result of natural geological processes that have been misinterpreted by human observers. They argue that over billions of years, the moon's surface has undergone significant changes and that some of these changes can be mistaken for man-made objects. So what do you think? Are these structures evidence of alien activity on the moon, or are they simply natural formations that have been misinterpreted by human observers? For decades, NASA has been sharing images of our solar system and beyond. Most are breathtaking views of colorful nebulous, sparkling star clusters and our ever-changing home planet, but every once in a while, an image surfaces that makes us wonder if what we're seeing is really what's up there. Close examination of some photos shared by NASA has led some to believe that the space agency is hiding evidence of extraterrestrial life. On the other hand, conspiracy theorists claim NASA is hiding evidence of something much more sinister, a warning from an advanced alien civilization. So what's really going on? In 2018, a former NASA employee came forward, claiming the space agency has a department whose sole responsibility is to edit out UFOs and alien structures from images sent back by satellites and probes. The existence of this department was first brought to light when a man who worked at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory claimed he was asked to remove a UFO from a photo taken by the Mars rover Opportunity. But it doesn't stop there. Another former NASA employee came forward with similar claims, stating that not only are UFOs regularly removed from images, but also from videos. He said there was a team of people dedicated to searching for and removing any anomalies that could suggest extraterrestrial life before the general public had a chance to see them. So why would NASA do this? It seems like they do want the world to know if there really was life elsewhere in the universe. There are two possible explanations. Either NASA's covering up evidence of aliens so as not to cause widespread panic, or they're keeping these images under wraps for another reason entirely. Some believe that NASA is hiding proof of aliens, because they aren't want to admit that all those years of funding were a waste of money. After all, billions of dollars have been funneled into finding aliens, and none of it has turned up anything concrete. If there really are extraterrestrials visiting our world, NASA would rather pretend they don't exist to keep up the search. This brings us to another theory. What if NASA isn't just hiding evidence of aliens, but evidence of something else, something that shouldn't be on the moon? In 1959, the US Army proposed a plan called Project Horizon. It called for the construction of a nuclear-armed moon base. While the Army claimed it was cancelled, some believe it went ahead in secret. The problem is there's nowhere on Earth where such a base could safely be kept hidden. But there is one place that's out of bounds to prying eyes: the far side of the moon. Because the far side of the moon doesn't receive radio signals from Earth, any base built there would be invisible to everyone but those involved in its construction. If there is a military base on the moon, it's most likely located on the far side of the satellite. Now, you may be wondering why the US would need a nuclear-armed base on the moon. The Cold War was heating up and the threat of nuclear war was very real. Back then, It was assumed space would be the next battleground. A base on the moon would give the US the upper hand should hostilities resume. But there's a twist to this tale. What if NASA isn't hiding evidence of a military base on the moon, but evidence of something even more sinister, a warning from an advanced civilization? According to conspiracy theorists, this would explain why no human has set foot on the moon in over 50 years. Humans first walked on the moon on July 20th, 1969. Since then, there have been 6 manned missions to the lunar surface. All were completed by the end of 1972. Several tons of moon rock had been brought back to Earth for study. So why hasn't NASA returned to the moon? Well, the answer is probably pretty simple. Funding dried up. With the threat of the Cold War seemingly gone, interest in space exploration waned and funding for NASA took a nosedive. But what if there's more to the story? What if there's something up there that we're not supposed to know about? Conspiracy theorists say the Apollo astronauts found something on the moon that they weren't supposed to, something that made the powers that be call off further manned missions. Some believe that what the astronauts found was a warning, a message from an advanced alien civilization that humans aren't welcome on the moon. This would explain why no one's been back in over 50 years. We're not talking about a lack of funding or interest. We're talking about an entire planet full of people who collectively decided it's best we stay away. What do you think? Is NASA hiding evidence of something on the moon? Let us know your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. We have a whole video about why the US government might be hiding evidence of aliens from us. Check it out in the description. And now let's get back to the video. China's Chang'e 4 mission touched down on the far side of the moon in early 2019. It was supposed to be a routine mission, the second of China's Change program, which aims to explore the moon and eventually put humans there. But the mission quickly became anything but routine. In one of the images that the Chinese lunar rovers sent back to Earth, people saw something strange. There seemed to be some kind of structure in the distance. Some people even claimed it looked like an ancient pyramid. Of course, experts came along and said that it was probably just a rock formation. But the internet had already run wild with the image and stories of an ancient civilization on the moon. But those stories were never proven to be true. So we went back to normal life here on Earth. Right? Well, not exactly. You see, while no one can deny that the moon landings happened or that humans really did walk on the moon, no one can say with absolute certainty what they found up there. After all, most of the footage that we've seen of the moon landings was taken by NASA cameras focused on the astronauts and the lunar surface. Very little of it was focused on the vast emptiness of space itself. And yet, perhaps most surprisingly, despite being trained scientists, astronauts, and many of the people who have been involved with the Apollo program over the years have reported seeing strange things in the sky. When they look back at the old footage, some claim to have seen huge black triangles soaring through space. Others have reported seeing strange lights and orbs, and some have even reported seeing entire cities, complete with lights and vehicles moving around them. But if these things really were there, why didn't the astronauts talk about them when they returned to Earth? Well, there are a few possible explanations. Maybe they really did see something strange, but they were so shocked that they simply forgot. Or maybe they did see something strange and the government threatened them into staying quiet. In fact, this is the same explanation that conspiracy theorists use for the alleged cover-up of the Roswell incident in 1947. The Roswell incident refers to a time when a rancher found debris from a crashed object in the New Mexico desert near Roswell. The military quickly claimed that it was a flying saucer, only to retract the statement a few days later saying that it was actually just a weather balloon. Many conspiracy theorists believe that this was the first real contact that the US government had with extraterrestrial life, and ever since then they've been covering up the truth. But could there really be an alien base on the moon? Well, anything's possible. After all, despite the fact that the moon landings were televised around the world, we still have very little idea what's really going on up there. And the fact is, the moon is a pretty big place. Even though it's relatively small compared to the Earth, it's still almost 8,000 miles in circumference, and so far, humans have only explored a tiny fraction of it. Most of the exploration we have done has been concentrated in the equatorial region, the area that surrounds the equator. This is where the Apollo missions landed and where most of the rocks and soil samples were collected. But there's still so much more to explore, especially on the far side of the moon, which we can't see from Earth. And it's on this side of the moon that we find the most intriguing evidence yet. According to reports from NASA and other space agencies, there are strange objects on the far side of the moon that may or may not be natural. We don't know because, as far as I know, no one's going to investigate. It's all very well that China sent its rover to the far side of the moon. It managed to take some incredible pictures of the surface. But the rover only traveled about 1 kilometer before its battery died. That's less than half a mile. So while the rover did capture images of the surrounding area, it didn't come across any strange objects. If it did, I'm sure the Chinese government would have been the first to share the news with the world. After all, they've been very open about the findings of their other moon missions. But back to the rover. After its battery died, it was left on the surface of the moon, transmitting data back to China until its solar panels lost power in lunar night, and that's the last we heard from it. But according to reports, when its solar panels regained power on the next lunar morning, it stopped transmitting data. As soon as it started transmitting again, it sent back a single message, no command, and that was that. There have been countless theories about what this message means. Some believe that it means the Chinese government ordered the rover to stop sending data, possibly because it had stumbled upon something it wasn't supposed to find. Others believe that it was just a malfunction. After all, technology doesn't tend to work very well on the moon, where there is no atmosphere to transmit signals through, and where temperatures can reach extremes of up to 127 degrees Celsius or as low as -173 degrees Celsius. But what do you think? Is there a top-secret alien base on the far side of the moon that the government is hiding from us? Or is the moon just a dead, lifeless rock? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.